Welcome back. Welcome back here. Another day of Astro Gravitational Report. Thank you for coming in, for the click, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and Chicago Bears win. Okay, yeah, Chicago Bears win. Let's leave it that way. For those who are going through that. Um, what are we seeing it today? The short versions of the beginning of the report. The moon, it's going to be coming out of Scorpio. She's going to be opposing Uranus. The problem of the sudden changes. So now we're going to see some very interesting moments into the astrology because the moon actually helps the conflict between love, values, will, actions, communications, where are you standing, and all that of that growth. And the moon is actually providing that. But we are going to be seeing a similarity of all this communications, all these actions, all this will and love and values is going to be supporting the intuition with her understanding of needing of certain changes as the moon is going to be opposing Uranus. Very interesting things is going to be coming in because all these energies of water in there as the moon is going to be trining Saturn and Neptune. She's going to see what you need to do in a proper way. So what does that mean? Kind of like translated to you, basically the energy. This is going to be leading as the wheel understands the power of the why, which is the intuition. It's understanding in there, okay? It's very understandable. There is a lot of support in there. We are talking about support with Mars, with actions is ready. The support about love and values, which is Venus, is ready. The communications is getting pretty much ready in there because Mercury, it is power up to comes in together with all this. But the understanding of the will, it is how to be done. So if you come in with intuition that you have not changed it and it's like, I want you to do this and this and this, and this is how I want you to do it, that is called control and manipulation through the intuition. Okay? And the will is not going to like it. Okay? And this is going to be one of those things that is going to be realized with this in there, as the moon has to be looking at, hey, you need to be learning proper ways of how to do the things into the material world. And that's what Uranus is going to be coming in, because this is kind of like a fight of I want to be independent, because see, independency in there is in Taurus. I want to be independent. It is about me. It's about this. Well, the moon is like, no, it cannot be. You also have to have a for me, right? Okay. Those who are Scorpios and dealing with this, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Your secret agendas, and it's turning to a what? Manipulations. So now as the sun is getting there, it's like, okay, well, I need to grow and mature above this. But the cooperations between the sun and the moon that is going to be coming in with all the personal planets is going to be about like, okay, you, dear will, you also have to know why is the purpose of what you're doing. Can't just go out there and do things to it and posting your will. Oh, I just want to do it. Oh, well, that's I just wanted to do it. You gotta have somewhat a purpose. So right now we're gonna see that the moon and the sun, they're gonna be creating a very beautiful purpose. Unless the sun, it is right now not mature enough, that square with Chiron and opposing Jupiter, you're still immature, you still don't understanding things in there. And the moon, and it's going to be meeting the true Lilith, and it's going to be what? Opposing Uranus. That is the moment where it's like you're finding the truth is like, okay, I should tell what it needs to be done, but I cannot tell the will how, because that's going to benefit me, because I can use that power of intuition to do something different. So here is the great awareness. It's going to be coming between both of them in there. And we're going to be seeing some with all this that it's going to be coming in towards us. Um, with these energies, hi Nimira, thank you for coming in. And with this energy, we're going to be coming in at 7 o'clock in the morning. Particularly with that 7 o'clock in the morning, we're going to see some lack of visions about the work. That it's going to be the square of Neptune with the ascendant, that it's going to be at Capricorn. But overall, the cooperations in there is going to be start working. That cooperations is a very powerful. Hi Farouk, thank you for coming in. And that is that energy of the moon that's going to be pointing out towards Chiron is about like it's time to heal this pattern at the family. So as the moon is assisting Jupiter of the growth, because the moon is assisting Jupiter in there to understand the will, the love, the values, in there, the proper actions that it needs to be about the family and communications through it. Right now, we are going to be seeing it that particular energy is going to be really paying it off because it's about what? Relationships. Because Jupiter is currently where? At the seventh house, the house of the Libra. All right, well, the problem is going to be rising on the horizon at 8 o'clock. Particularly be mindful at 8 o'clock. What are you actually doing? What are you working? How are you proceeding things? And so on and so on. Because the inner work is going to be with the moon, while the ascendant is going to be with the sun. Here is about that energy of understanding in cooperations that it's supposed to come in. As we are talking about here, it's the moon and the inner work with the sun, Mars, Mercury, the ascendant, all that energy. But if you getting this energy and it's like, oh, well, that's not going to be family, that's not going to do this, that's not going to be growing up, guess what? You are missing all this positive energy that is going to be coming in. So right now the moon, it's taking the positions to help and assisting through the inner work with Jupiter. So this conflict can be really resolved. But we also seeing it that the sun, Mars, and Mercury and Venus up here with the ascendant, guess what? They are helping to resolve the conflict with Uranus, as the moon and Lilith are opposing it. Here is that moments that, yes, the energies is going to be intense, but this is the moment when you're realizing the truths, a deeper truth within. What are you doing with who you're doing, and what is it, the things that's going to be happening into the future, because you are aware of the consequences of actions. Okay, now you learn to collaborate, because maybe you're right now working on this particular job in there, because all the personal planets as well. And at a Capricorn, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. But probably you are tired of hearing it, of this work, and doing the inner work, doing this public work, and so on and so on. When the public is like, no, I gotta do things personally for me. So with all this intense energies that it's going to be coming in, we're going to see some lots of things, new ways, new approaches, because that new moon, it's going to be like, you know what, doing that work together, it's going to benefit everything. Compare we fighting with the growth, we are fighting with things, and we don't like the changes. And now we want to see somehow intuition and the will, authority, actions, love, and communications all coming in together under one roof. To what? To benefit personally you, for the benefit of the society, because they are all going to be moving where? They're going to be moving into Aquarius. All right, so very good preparations on that standpoint. At 10 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at Sagittarius. We're going to see the ascendant is going to be with the North Node. Right now, it's like the future is uncertain. Well, the future is always is unknown. You can try to predict the future, but the future for one person can be different compared to the future for another person, depending of their planets. But when you're trying to predict the future events that's going to be coming in towards us in there, they're all basis of this collective energy. So you have to be look at in there, what is it the common between you and the people that are in your field, they are in your energy field, because that is going to beginning to bring those collective energies towards you. Very careful of this kind of like immature actions, very careful of what you're telling to yourself. But when you're beginning to understand that the intuition primary functions is to find the reasoning, which is that is it about the purpose. But don't go out there and tell how it's done. The intuition has to follow how it's done, the authority. But at the same time, the authority doesn't have to express and tell or order the intuition what the things has to be. What is it, the difference? And this is how the separations is created. But when you put them together, they're going to achieve amazing things. Okay? Amazing things. And through the tough challenges, there's going to be a lots of what? Potential growth, because you're going to do things that you never done. And that's how evolution is made. All right, guys, very beautiful. Triggers will come in at 11, and particularly at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, the ascendant is going to be with Chiron, trigger and the unhealed patterns. At 12 o'clock, the inner work is going to be joining Mars. Be careful with that Mars, because Mars is impatient. Mars doesn't like to wait. Mars doesn't like when he has to get an approvals. Mars doesn't like all this. He wants to act. But right now, Mars, if you listen, the intuition is like, okay, I can learn to be wise. I can be learned to be in a proper way. I can work with the certain changes. I'm flexible. Not this stubbornness, because Mars at Capricorn, that is a stubbornness on the squares. You have a Mars in Capricorn, it's basically somebody tells you, let's improve this, let's change this, and Mars is like always been working that way, and that's how it is, and that's how the way it should be. Oi, right? Is any progress on this? No. Right? And this is going to be one of the things that the moon, it's going to comes in and it's going to be a progress. 1 o'clock, very beautiful energy. The inner work is going to be with Pluto. We're going to see the moon. It's moving at 24 degrees. In there is going to be very stark closing towards having these beautiful trines with Saturn and Neptune active again. But she's on a way to meet the true Lilith that is at 28 degrees of Scorpio, while the mean Lilith is where? At Sagittarius. Now there is the things that has to be spoken in there within the truth. Is that happen for the first time? No, it doesn't. But if you pay attention, when a Mercury was at Scorpio, we had exactly the same situations, right? Had to go back in there, had to go back into the shadow, right? Go back in there and watch the reports, guys. You're going to be finding why did these things happen again. All right, talking about 2 o'clock, a lot of the divine energies is going to be coming out in there, particularly what are you telling to yourself about others? That is a more about this energy of what? Gemini, right? Very powerful energy of the Gemini. It is about this particularly judgment of others. You know, oh, this person, that person. Or when you're talking bad about the person, and the person does a good job, then you go out and you spare the good job, right? Oh, well, this and that. So don't try to be that particular fast Gemini that switches sides. Okay, look at it, the spirit within you. What is it teaches you? Okay, because that energy is going to be coming in from the sun. It's going to be coming from the Lilith, because they are making a yacht towards Gemini, right? How to communicate personally within you, and what is your make up your mind about others. You learn this when you're 3 years old. So whatever the pattern of 3 year old is within you, you're actually going to be repeating it later on. Okay? Talking about when you're 16. Right? All right. 3 o'clock. The ascendant is going to be at Cancer. Is about family. Everything you do it is about within family. The inner work at is going to be on Pisces. Very beautiful emotions because you finally understand. I have to put the spirit back into the leading things. Okay, everyone in the family, they have different personality. You have your planets, your personal planets, they're all over the place. Very seldom I see some stellium with people in there when the planets are together. Now we get in a very crazy stellium because it's all about what? Personal planets. We're talking about the moon is going to come together, Mercury, okay? We're talking about Mars, we're talking about the sun, and we're talking about Venus. All the personality comes into union. And it's going to be a pressure, and it's going to be a tensions, okay? But you have to look united within you, okay? But if you look out, all right, everyone around you, they will have the same issues. But personally, when you were born, they were all over the place. They have different configurations. And you need to learn to appreciate everyone's differences. And that's going to be a hard time, right? Because Capricorn is still particularly about doing work. All right. This energy is going to be some trigger the next hour. This is going to be at 4 o'clock p.m. And here is what the situations is looking at. So here is we have the moon, the true Lilith, the min Lilith, and vortex. They are opposing Uranus. Who is assisting here, though? Right? All the personality comes into the intuition and is stop being about you, looking more about the future. And here is the inner work of Saturn and Neptune are also assisting the moon, right? And now, as we see that energies in here, the moon is also assisting with Jupiter, but so is the inner work. And here how you're learning to cooperate with everything within you. Okay? And psychology is talking about the sub-selves. Okay? That is the warrior within you, which is Mars. Okay? That is the way you expressing yourself, which is Mercury. That is the way you think and process informations. That is the moon. And what you are thinking about yourself, how you see yourself, who you are, and so on, and what you are going to really accept it in there with you, and that is your sun. Okay, so now you see all these energies that it's inside of you as a part of what? Your sub-selves. Those little bit pictures within you. They are right now what? Coming together. You put yourself together, you put your life together. All right? For what benefits? To do a work for the humanity. And this is what is all the preparations is. Some people is going to be shifted. Some people is not going to like the changes. Some people have to make some certain moves, certain sacrifices, right? With all this, because Pluto is in the process of the changes. Uranus is right now, it's like review what you're doing currently in your material world. Uranus is where? At Taurus. He says like, you need to think about a little different, because the way you think right now, down the road, maybe not going to be the right thing. Some of you maybe get some visions, some of you maybe get some downloads, however is in your case. You feeling that there's something, it's not quite all right. All right, 6 o'clock, this is going to be the energy of the inner work within yourself. You have to do something. It's going to be challenging, particularly that inner child. I'm tired of talking about this inner child, but it is what it is. Okay? The inner child always wants things. The inner child is always misachieved, right? Don't allow that inner child comes out within you because of the trauma, and lack of learning and immaturity and so on and so on and so on. That comes out and takes over and creates all these issues. Okay? All right. We're talking about particularly with the people who are seeking what? Attentions. You need to heal these attention seeking situations because that breaks what? The workflow, breaks the patterns of the family because of personality. Okay, so this is going to be some a very big trigger for some. 7 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at Taurus, very beautiful. Ascendant, it's going to be at Leo. It's kind of like a, hey, build up, grow up, stop acting like a immature kid. That is going to become very beautiful. But the ascendant is going to be squaring Uranus and squaring the moon. That is the moments when you missed out these energies of the intuitions where it's like, oh, I'm going to be doing this and this and that so I can get this and this and this. And I'm going to be very strong and focused to tell the authority whatever it needs to be in there. It's kind of like that energy that was explained that, okay, the divine feminine or the divine masculine, they got to be doing this certain situation. You need to understand, okay? Intuition is a feminine energy, but she doesn't have to lead. Divine masculine family is the will, the energy is in there. Okay? He is what? Approval. So they gotta work together. Mars, this is the warrior, this is the honesty, this is the character that you build in and there. But the character comes in from what? Understanding the proper love and the values of everything within the personality. When they're in internal fights, you have no fights in there. But when they're working together, you know how to work with others. That's a lot of unifications that it's coming in right now. All right. As the ascendant was the last hour over at Leo, as we are developing and creating this will of ours, this is how we created ourselves, right? That's the 50th year of the life in there. Ascendant is going into Virgo. This is where you discerning. Did I build the things right? Guilty consciousness. It is I'm ready. Maybe I haven't done things. You have a lot of dualities in there. And the ascendant right now is in divine energies with Pluto. I need to change. I need to transform. But the ascendant is squaring the moon and both Liliths. Don't be kind of like a self guilt tripping. Don't be like, oh, I don't like my shadow. I don't like this truth. If I say the truth, what is my gonna be? Don't be against this. I have to keep certain things in the shadow because the moon, it's still where? At Scorpio. Okay. Virgos doesn't like the Scorpios because of the truths. It's like, I gotta get in there, but at the same time, Virgos are keeping certain things only for who? On their own selves, because until they're not ready to process forward, and they're trying to fix this thing, and then they talk about how do they fix it. That's why the Virgo is the healer of the zodiacs, because they are doing the personal work of healing. Okay, if you are in that energy, God bless your soul. Also pay attention to where the Virgo is in your chart, because right now, even in the next hour, we're going to be looking at, this is the south node. The south node of the moon, it is about the past. That's what the moon, the intuition in the base of the past. I know how to go to the future. Hands down on that. Okay, but as the ascendant is going to be going with the south node, that's the south node is where you're reevaluating the past. It happens every day. Like it or not, it happens every day. Okay. And now as that the energy is in Virgo in there, did I properly understood the past? Can I get into the future, which is my mission? This is my purpose, right? Because I have to survive in order to create the future. You see, part of the survival skills, they are embedded into Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. What are you doing on Earth? Taurus, I'm provider, I create, I harvesting, I farming. Virgo, I understand, I learn, I use logic, I use communications, and I heal. I work with others, I provide for others. I'm the public servant, Capricorn. See, all those, they are working in a very beautiful harmony. So pay attention to what you have from those three zodiac signs. All right, well, there's going to be a lot of mixed energies at 10 o'clock at night. For those of you who are like overthinking, your brain goes like 1,000 miles an hour. In there, you are opposing restrictions, you're opposing divisions. That inner work that is going to be at Gemini is going to be squaring the ascendant at Virgo. Dualities. All this opposition of Uranus towards the Lilith, that's like enough of these hidden things. Stop hiding the things. Tell the people, put the cards on the table, tell the things, let's the truth to be there. And now the moon feels what? Guilty. Okay? And this is where the guilty conscious is going to be coming in, because when the moon is going to be going at throughout Sag, we're going to see lots of these emotions coming out into the public. A lot of the people, they're going to be expressing things. There's going to be some writing. There's going to be some, I mean, if you're following some certain people through the social medias and so on, you're going to see like all of a sudden the people expressing their emotions. You're going to see this in the next 2.5 days. Okay. Hi, Joanne. Thank you for coming in. And at 11 o'clock, yes, you're going to feel like there is no balance. You're going to feel like the family things are not coming together. Yes, you're going to feel these pressures of the intuitions with the Lilith towards Uranus. Yes, you're going to feel the pressures of all these personal planets towards Jupiter, because Jupiter currently does not have a positive aspects anymore. The moon doesn't support that energies in there. You're going to be like, what did I heck I need to do? And the only thing the moon is going to be telling it, talk positive to your own self. Be positive. It's not only a blood type. Okay. So now the moon has coming into Sagittarius overnight. We're going to see it. How you're going to be learning to talk positive, first of all, to others. But when you're speaking to others, that is the more important thing you need to tell who? Yourself. Okay? That is the lesson from Sagittarius. If you look at it in your psychology ways, in there is the things that you need to tell yourself, you're first telling the others, because you already processed them, but you have not fully comprehended or accepted within yourself. And this is what it's known as what? Philosophy. Okay? But philosophy is nothing if it's not putting to practice. Psychology needs philosophy to put into practice. And the practical use of that philosophy and psychology, it's called spirituality. Okay, guys? That's all I have for you for right now. And I'm going to be giving you at 7 o'clock in the morning how we are going to be doing it at January 14. Okay, guys? All right, let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 o'clock. No, 7. I'm going to go with 7. Well, at 7 o'clock, the moon and the black moon Lilith is going to be coming out. So there's going to be a lot of shadow coming out. There's going to be a lot of energies that it's going to be coming in, and triggers with this. That's going to be a squaring the North Node. Be mindful about sabotaging. Be mindful how you're talking. Be mindful what you see in it, what others is. Because between the see, understand, and the process is required. The soul, the spirit, to come in. Okay, guys? But for that, we're going to be talking more about tomorrow. And come back tomorrow for another Astro Gravitational Report. Much love to all of us, guys. Wish you good luck. And Godspeed. Godspeed.